And it's been one of those kinds of weeks here. So, but that I'm not making any excuses, folks. I'm just sharing as you wish, or as you will. Okay, so what's the big news out there today? Well, I guess it depends on your perspective. We have the contretemps between Ted Cruz and the Trumpster. To put all this in context, bring it into focus. The Trumpster got mad at something Cruz did, and Cruz didn't do it. There was a PAC published a photo of the wife of the Trumpster, Melania, from 15 years ago in GQ, when back in her modeling days, and it was kind of risque. She wasn't wearing much, if anything. Well, this offended the Trumpster. And so the Trumpster warned Cruz to be careful or he would spill the beans on Cruz's wife, Heidi. Everybody said, what are the beans? What's there to spill about Heidi Cruz? And it turns out there was something. It would not have amounted to much of anything, but it was something from 15 years ago. But it never came out. It never really mattered much because the Trumpster fired back with a tweet of his own. Side-by-side photos of Heidi Cruz looking like she was mad at somebody. Her mouth is wide open. She's screaming at something. Right next to a picture of the Trumpster's wife, Melania, looking like she looks. And the Trumpster says, no need to spill the beans. The picture says it all. And I have to tell you, and Mr. Snerdley confirmed this with me today for the first time, a number of women, I mean, the Megyn Kelly stuff didn't evoke much of a reaction from women. The insults of some of the other women that Trump, like Carly Fiorina and her face, no big deal. But this one, for some reason, has resonated with a lot of women. And Trump has a gender gap already, details coming up. Don't know how serious it is, but it's said to be a serious gender gap, serious problem with women even before this. And this side-by-side picture, Heidi Cruz, next to Melania with the tweet, no need to spill the beans, picture says 1,000 words. For some reason, all that other stuff about women didn't raise a hackle, but this one has. Has it with you? And I have to tell you, I'm curious about it. I mean, let's review this. She had blood coming out of, well, everywhere. I don't know. Hey, you know what? No big deal. It's funny, hardy har har. She kind of deserved it because the way she treated Trumpster. I mean, this is the reaction people got. Then Carly Fiorina. Who would want to elect somebody with a face like that, Trump said. No big deal. What is it about this? Is it that there's a picture? Is that what it is? Because you have to admit here, folks, that some of the things, and I've got my objectivity cap on here. I'm just reviewing all this. Some of the things that Trump has said about women prior to this Heidi Cruz thing, I mean, do they not measure up? Are they not just as egregious? Are they not just as over the line? But they didn't seem to be harmful. Women didn't seem to be particularly upset over any of that. Not like this. This is in its own league. And then, I don't know if I got the timeline exactly right, but somewhere in the midst of all this, a very hot rumor starts percolating out there across the internet and Twitter and Facebook. What? What now? That Cruz has been catting around out there with 5 different mistresses. It turns out the National Enquirer is the source for this. There isn't any story yet. It's just scuttlebutt out there that the Enquirer has the data, has the information sitting on it. Everybody say, wait. Ted Cruz? 5 mistresses? Ted Cruz? people can't imagine Ted Cruz ever taking his clothes off, even to go to bed. Am I right? 5, and then we find out that it's not being given a lot of credence out there on the internet because it just sounds so incredulous. And if the Inquirer has this news now, where was it a month ago? Where was it 2 months ago? Why now? And then, ladies and gentlemen, New York Magazine. Trump's alliance with the National Enquirer is the headline of the story. Oh, and now this is really getting good. It's an October 2015 article from last year. Just last October, last year. Trump and Enquirer CEO David Pecker. Is that not a great name for the guy that runs the National Enquirer, by the way? Trump and Enquirer CEO David Pecker. That's P-E-C-K-E-R, David Pecker, have been friends for years. A source close to the Enquirer said, yeah, they're very close. In July of 2013, Trump even tweeted that Pecker should become CEO of Time magazine, which at the time was being spun off from its corporate parent Time Warner. Trump back then said he'd make it exciting. Pecker would make Time magazine exciting and would win awards. So of all the things that have happened in this campaign, of all the things that people thought they would never, ever see in a presidential campaign, of all the things people thought they'd never hear in a presidential campaign, a lot of them go by, ho-hum reaction. This thing comes along, the side-by-side picture of Heidi Cruz and Melania Trump. No need to spill the beans. Picture says it all, says it out, whatever, worth 1,000 words. And for the first time that I'm aware of, women. Now, by the way, let me acknowledge, I know that there are a lot of you ladies, women in the audience who are pro-Cruz, and this is not the first time that you have been offended by Trump. It's not the first time you've said so. We're talking about people who heretofore we know who have looked the other way or been unmoved, didn't seem to care, however you want to categorize it or describe it. This one has seemed to create universal reaction of less than a favorable nature. So we don't know where this is headed. Of course, Cruz has, for the second time now, he has responded in defiant defense of his wife. Remember the first time we played the audio soundbite of him defending Heidi the first time, and we had a soundbite of Carol Costello on CNN laughing about it derisively. Gotta defend the little woman. And I'm sitting here thinking, she's a product of the modern feminist era. She's a liberal media member. What is so worthy of mocking a man defending his wife? Is that not even supposed to happen? Are women so equal? Are women so on their own that when they are offended, when they are impugned, when they are unfairly criticized, their husbands are not supposed to say anything, and if their husbands do, we want to laugh at it and make fun of it? It's another thing I need to have explained to me. When is it okay to defend your wife? When is it not? When will liberals appreciate you defending your wife, and when will they make fun of you for doing it? And under what circumstances? And does it matter who you are when you defend your wife? But regardless, there she was, snickering at it, laughing at Cruz, mocking him for defending the little woman. She's a working woman. Heidi Cruz is exactly what the modern era of feminazis suggested all women should do. Heidi Cruz tried to do it all. Heidi Cruz believed you could do it all, and she set out to do it all, and she did. And she found out as she was doing it all that it was more than she wanted to do. But Heidi Cruz has accomplished a heck of a lot more than 95% of the women in the media reporting on her and making fun of her and mocking her. It is just classic. It's constant drive-by media people making fun of, laughing at gallantry, laughing at chivalry, laughing at valor. Then you have Bill and Hillary, with Bill doing what he was doing and Hillary blaming on a right-wing conspiracy and so forth. And there was no condemnation of what Bill Clinton did. There was no condemnation of the way Hillary reacted to any of it, and Hillary was responsible for it. Hillary was involved in all of the bimbo eruption stuff. But I know, they're liberals. They're Democrats. Therefore, they're protected. I get that. I just, look at this stuff that's happening. That so much of it is inexplicable to me, given how previous similar examples have barely gotten any kind of reaction whatsoever.